Uh, they might be there, and they're not going to tell the world too much about that yet, that's for sure. The same as I know it for a fact, they have machines that can monitor your dreams and create images from it. So, good or bad, it's good in one way, bad in another. If they can do it without you knowing it, it's even worse. So, we need to get back to the idea of what do we learn, how do we learn it here and now to understand heaven, to understand death. I talk about techniques that put you in a death situation for a short period of time, seconds, minutes, to understand it, because you need an understanding of what you're searching for. When you search for the truth, you need the answers to the questions, and the question's going to be that. What soul look like? And all those things. You can prove it to yourself. I don't have to be the one that tells you. I will, but you need to do that for yourself. I mean, there's multiple techniques I gave over a period of time. One's looking in a mirror, one's looking in a black mirror, with a blue light, red light. I mean, different things help you see things because it takes your attention off of other things, and then you can focus on what you're doing. Uh, when I say you can't push so hard that it's the only thing that matters and you care about, then you lose touch with everything else. I'm in a place where I'm dealing with reality more than anything right now. I keep saying, man, all the experiences I had and all the cool things. I said, yeah, but, I knew all that then, and I still know it now. Do I have to be doing all that right now? Uh, when I feel I have to give what I know out. There's people out there that have ears that allow it to go into the brain and they can hear it and accept it. Sure, most people have that too because we're from one ear to the other. It slides in and slides out. And they don't care. Tell them it's going to give them $1 million, they'll listen. Tell them it's worth a lot of money, they'll listen. And they'll make it. But tell them it's going to cost them all the rest of their money for the rest of their life, they don't want to hear it. Well, we're paying for spiritual truth, but not in money, in action. What we do, how much we're willing to put in. The saying is, you don't put anything in, you don't get nothing out. The more you put into life in the right way, gives you more out in the inner way. I'm sure you can understand it. That's not complex. I talk simple, but the ideas are much more abstract and much more different than what the average speaker is going to tell you. You're going to have everything you want. Just believe in yourself. Believe what? That yourself? Hopefully you know that. You don't have to believe anything. You are a soul. Whether you want to believe that or not, you are. Now, how do you differentiate that from the body and mind? Well, that's what you need to work on. That's what everybody needs to work on. And then separate part of the ego into let soul be in that space rather than just let ego take it. Because then you'll learn, you'll see, and you'll experience a lot more in the inner aspect of who and what you are. Because they are the only things that matter. It doesn't matter what you say, I'm going to go through this to get an experience. I'm going to stay on top of a mountain for 3 days, no food, no water, stand there. Well, good luck. And if you did your standing and come back out of it, what'd you learn? All these people that said, I had a great vision. What was the vision? What's it mean? What's it going to do for reality? Nothing. What's it going to do for you? Give you a better job? People that need things on planet Earth have a desire to stay here, whether they admit it or not. They think things are suddenly going to get better. The best relationships have serious problems in them. Just because you don't see them doesn't mean they're not there. Whether it's held up inside a person. I mean, I'm watching this one show where this couple is married, they have a child, and he knew he was gay all his life. And then he's going to turn into a girl now. It was a man. in situations like that? Well, mind gets twisted with ego, and then it gets fed more junk along the way. Soul's not allowed to vibrate within that person. And that doesn't make you a better person when you change into an opposite sex because, well, I had an operation and I took medicine and pills. It doesn't make you anything else. You're still the same soul. If you don't realize that, well, I feel like a woman. I feel like a man. It's relating to the physical feelings and emotions of the mind. Soul doesn't have them. Soul doesn't need it. Soul doesn't have to be male or female, and it isn't. But aliens are male and female. As far back in time, the beings, the giants, they were all male and female. And they're here because of that reason. Can't get into the higher worlds being male or female. Because you gotta let go of the body. No matter what body, and there's 5 different bodies you're going to use before you break free of all of it. But in those bodies, they have a reality which is human, male or female in the first 2 worlds, physical and astral. That changes in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You're no longer that egotistical person that I'm a great male or I'm a great female. You're not both. I mean, both means 2 together, but you're not. You're one soul, individual, that doesn't pertain to the idea of being male or female. And I could go into that. Maybe, it's people get upset when you say the wrong thing, especially when they're following a certain path or believe a certain thing. But I'm not in that place. Kill me because you don't like me, that's your choice. But think about why you would even try to kill me because of what you believe, some stupid ideas or programmed ideas that you accept. I just saw the email. Transgender being pushed among children. How's a child with 3 female mothers, 3 male men, or 2 or 5 or more, however their relationships are? How's a child, especially if it's a male with 3 women or a female with 3 men, how do they understand that? How do they become aware of what they are? Who helps them understand themselves rather than pushing them into understanding who the parents are? Now, I support people adopting children, but I think the child, if he's going to be adopted, they need to have a balanced situation to move into. When a child loses their parents, or taken away from them, and they're put with 2 women or 2 men, it's kind of separating their spiritual growth from who they are. Because now it's a different energy, different vibration, a different belief system. Oh, we need to accept everybody. That's a programmed idea. If you believe what they tell you to believe, you're so screwed up. You're in a serious problem because now you have to accept what they say. You can't be prejudiced. Why? Well, it's not right. It's not right to be prejudiced. Well, prejudiced inside the United States. What are we doing to people coming and going inside the United States? We're prejudiced to them. What are we doing to the native people? We're prejudiced to them. And who's the ones that saying the most prejudiced against? The black people. So try to figure that out. Try to make sense out of it. You can't. It's not feasible because it's totally ridiculous. Now, certain religions hate other religions, certain paths. I mean, the Protestants and Catholics never got along. The Jewish people were outcasts. The Muslims are a different race altogether. And they all don't fit together. They never will. But you can't be prejudiced against them. If you believe in beating your child's right, and I don't, should I be prejudiced against you? No. Why not? Because if you're going to try to force your laws on me, that I do not accept, period. You should always stand by your truth, If it is the truth, most people don't have it, so they can't stand by the truth. And I'll challenge people that are in any religion to prove it. Prove your truth's real to God, to a God, not to an ego, not to the mind. If God wanted to hurt everybody, we'd all be broken legs and just laying on the ground and stuff like that. If we were always supposed to drown, we will be drowned. Whatever. If you believe that God has these different kind of ideas, which we try to accept, God is this and God is that. God is loving, caring, protecting. To who? For what reason? How many people on planet Earth deserve protection from everything? I mean, everything. I mean, poison, being shot at, drowning, and all those things. And for me, and I have to say this, as of right now, I was protected from so many different serious dangers of death experiences and things. Why? Not because I wanted to, because there was a protection around me, always. When you open up to the truth, you live within that. You can die in it. You can die tomorrow in it. But when you're aware of it, it doesn't matter. Family, people, everything, it doesn't matter. Oh, I have to come back and help people? It's not going to be the same people in most cases. I mean, some people try to get back in their families. But if you die old or come back, it takes 5, 10 years, usually 10. And what are you going to be when you come back? A baby? And start that at that age? You're not going to come back as an older person where you can help somebody. These ideas, so programmed in New Age people. Christians don't believe in reincarnation. So they don't come back. They go to hell or they go to heaven. That's what they believe. But here's the scenario. Man has no clue to the truth. You know, washes our sins. Really? I mean, a Muslim belief. I mean, I went over the Quran to see what they believe in. I read over and over what Gabriel told Muhammad. It has nothing to do with spiritualism. It's all mind and man. So if you think that's what God is, you got a problem. And then to believe if you leave this planet in soul, or your other body, when you let go of this body, you're still you, really. And then you're going to be around beautiful, busted women and have sex nonstop. Does that sound like something God would want? Why don't we all have it here and now then? Why don't we all just stay hard, have sex, and stay in a sexual position until we die? I mean, live your fantasy out. Because if you take all the time, you have sex in your life and put it together, imagine having that one time from start to finish until you die. Which would be better, spacing it out or having it nonstop? I mean, ridiculous scenario, but to believe that sex is important, I mean, it's fun, exciting, and all those words, but it has nothing to do with God. Well, that's a good statement, but somebody just said, if you convert a Muslim, you are automatically guaranteed to go to heaven, even if you had committed a serious crime. Well, that's not true. We don't have a right to interfere in anybody's life, what they do, how they act, but they have no right to interfere in yours as well. That's the spiritual laws on the physical world. I should say the physical laws. But what I was trying to say with this idea that we believe we don't create karma because we're spiritual. We found the right teacher. We have the right teacher. Well, that's not true. You'll probably never find the right teacher. You'll find the teacher that you agree with and accept. It doesn't mean he's right. He feels good. I learn things. What do you learn? If the ultimate, I can go from Christianity, Buddhism, to Enochian magic, which is a religion as well. and you split it.